Yo, what's up? Just kidding. I have been working my fingers to the bone, not literally, but I've been so busy at work. I'm a teacher, end of the semester. It's been crazy. So I am so looking forward to getting home and unpacking 3 seed orders that are waiting for me. And enough time has passed since I put the orders in that I've forgotten some of the varieties. So it will be a surprise. And I do have an item I need to return to Home Depot. I just don't like it very much, and I decided I'm going to go get a refund. And meanwhile, I do have some seeds I got from Home Depot. I'm going to show you now. So I recently did a little video for you guys on Dollar Tree, but I don't think I showed you guys the bachelor button flowers, the seeds that I got from Home Depot. Aren't those beautiful? And there's lots of different colors. The ones that are typically grown are the blue, but it is an annual. And I want to have as many flowers growing as possible because I do plan on having like little cut flower arrangements. And I might even try drying some of these as well to see if they look good in like a dried ornamental wreath. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes later. And if it goes well, I'll show you. I also purchased these nasturtium seeds, and I just love how many you get in this packet. There's just a ton of seeds here, and they were not very expensive. So if you're looking for nasturtium and you don't have a particular variety in mind, Home Depot, you get a lot of seeds in just a small pack like this, the silver seeds. If you have a very particular color, that you're looking for, those seed packets are going to cost more and you won't get as much in the packet, but there's a ton of seeds here. Nasturtium are edible. The leaves and the flowers are edible. They have a kind of like a sharp peppery flavor to them. I like the younger leaves. They taste good on a sandwich. And you can use the flowers in different recipes as well. So they're very good. I don't tend to use the flowers because they're so beautiful, and I always want more seeds. But you could eat the greens and you'll still get flowers and seeds. And if you're lucky, they'll reseed. However, for me, if they reseed and it happens to be like going into a wet season, they tend to rot. So I like to collect the seeds. I don't just let them sit on the soil. And then I save them. But I've got a whole lot of seeds here. I have some special varieties at home as well, but these are really going to be great. I also got 2 different packages of these Snapdragons. This one says Tall Mix, and these are annuals. And then I also got this Tall Mix. So I think I was meaning to buy 2 different varieties. And I'll have to go back to the seed area and see if there's another type. So this is the Snapdragon Wildflowers. They have a different, they had one that's called Wild Snapdragon. It's not the same kind of flower. So maybe I did decide to get 2 packages of the same one because the Wild Snapdragons look like Snapdragons, but they're actually a different plant. But aren't these beautiful? So I got these packages. These are at Home Depot, and they are I don't remember exactly the price. I'll put the price on here when I put the video together, but these are all beautiful. And my understanding is they all have some kind of edible component to them. I'm going to be doing a lot more research on edible flowers and adding more information to my channel as well about those. So they're so beautiful. And I'm going to be growing these in my garden this spring. I'm also going to be offering some of these seeds to my classes, and I'm starting a gardening club at school. So the kids will be able to grow some to take home. All right, so before I can do that big 3 seed packages that I'm going to open at home, I need to go do my return. Let's go see how much those seeds cost, and maybe I'll check out those wild Snapdragons too. I don't know a lot about them, so we'll have to figure it out. Let's go check it out. I'm thinking I might also look to see if they have a toolbox. And I'm seeing some really cool sheds. I want to go look at them really fast. wish list. Wish list. Okay. I'm gonna get to the seed unveiling in just a second. I have to stop by the US Chef store to grab a few items. But while I'm there, I'm just gonna show you if I was doing a prepping run, what I would grab. I'm not gonna do it super long. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. If you are not prepping and stocking up on shelf-stable food, you ought to be. First of all, I apologize for my voice, but I've got a little bit of like a bronchitis or something. So it sounds like I've been smoking for 40 years, but I don't. I got this big seed haul, and I wanted to show you some seeds that I saved myself. In another video, I will be putting these into homemade little seed packets. So let's check what's out in this little container here. I love wooden boxes,
One of the ways I use them is for drying my seeds so that they don't fall over and get ruined and lost. But this whole container is full. Can you guess what kind of seeds these are? I'll give you a hint. They smell really good. And if you let them go to flower, they produce just so many seeds. Yum, it smells great. What kind of seeds do you think I saved here? Smells so yummy. Put in the chat below, what kind of seeds do you think these are? If you're a longtime gardener, you probably recognize them. I got some of these mesh bags. I did buy some from Temu. This one here I actually got from Burlington. Was it Burlington Coat Factory, whatever, Burlington anyway. And it came with 3 of these in a set. They're all different colors and different sizes. And I'm going to just put the seed packets into here while I decide how to sort them. And I am starting to use these kinds of containers for my seed storage just for convenience, because I found when I'm outside gardening and I'm grabbing the seeds to go outside, I don't want to have to carry a huge thing. So if I organize by like all my squash in one thing and all my beans in one thing, then it's just be easier to find things, as well as having the convenience of not having rigid containers to have to like lug around. So I'm using these kind of mesh containers now. It's kind of like a pencil pouch, and it's kind of working for me, so I think I'm going to try it for a while. I'll let you know how I like it. So it's kind of like Christmas because I try to save a couple packages for a video, and I saved 6. So I haven't been feeling very well, and so I haven't gotten around to this. But I'm sure I have some really amazing things in here, you guys. Let's see what I have. Jeez. Let's start with this little one here, which I think I might have gotten from Etsy or eBay. Maybe Etsy. Let's see what's inside. Okay, yeah, so I remember buying these, and these are from somebody on Etsy. I'm not happy that they did not put growing instructions or information, but I ordered seeds, very similar, actually the same kind, from someone else who had all that information. I want to point out that a friend of mine recently posted on her YouTube channel that one of her plants had produced one of these seeds. I think she posted her whole video on it. So I'm going to go ahead and link her video. And can you figure out what these are? So I already had you guessing what did I have in the wooden box that I seed saved. Now I have you guessing what kind of seeds did I buy from this person on Etsy who did not actually label their seeds. I hate that. I'm sorry. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm sure that they're going to be great. But they're not labeled. Come on. Okay. So do you know what these are? Make a little comment in the comment area below. What's your guess on these Etsy seeds? What do you think these are? And if you have any growing instructions, go ahead and pop those below. I've grown this plant before, but I haven't grown it from seed. So I love growing from seed. There's like bragging rights that go with that, right? So there's people who grow from starts. No problem with that. But there's people who grow from seeds, and that's my preference. Unless I clone something myself, I love doing that too. But I kind of feel like buying starts is cheating. Now I have nothing against it really, but there's a pride that comes along with planting something from seed yourself. So, and a whole nother layer from planting something, letting it go to seed, gathering the seeds, and then planting those seeds. There's a whole level of arrogance that goes with that. But what do you think these are? So while I'm trying to scale down on how much I spend on seeds. You guys voted and said around $15, $20 a week on my Dollar Tree hauls. And then I did a seed thing as well, and a survey. and you guys said $15-20 a week on garden seeds, because really it really is kind of like my thing. It's very rare that I buy a coffee out. I don't get my nails done. I don't get my hair done. This is my thing. This is my luxury, my vice that I like to I indulge in. So, yes, I do have another seed pocket under there. So there are 4 packages here from Baker Creek and 1 large package from MiGardener. I can tell you that MiGardener has a new thing on shipping. You have to spend $20 before you get free shipping. So that's not a problem, because that's just 10 seed packets. 10 $2 seed packets, then you get free shipping. It's a great deal. So still a great deal. But if I'm only spending $15-20, I can buy at Baker Creek, I can buy 3 packets for like $11 or $12, get a free seed packet and free shipping. I don't have to spend 20. I don't get as many different types of plants, but I think by this point, I think I've bought every seed variety that MiGardener probably has. And Baker Creek keeps adding new kinds. MiGardener did add 30 new types of plants. I already have them. I'm pretty sure I have all of them. So I'm still going to buy from him. I think his company is amazing. And if you're a beginner to intermediate gardener, you will probably find everything you need at MiGardener. And I love that you can buy seeds for $2. And at Baker Creek, you're going to buy seeds. It really ranges. They don't have anything for $2. So, and then also at MiGardener, like this versus this. At MiGardener, once a year, they have a $1 sale on seeds. And this probably isn't it, but I'm going to check to see. But they have a clearance, like of all the seeds that they didn't sell, they sell them for cheaper. It's like half off. And I love that deal. I miss the Baker Creek deal where they said they had like a certain amount of time to buy, spend a certain amount of money. Any order you would get a free some kind of tomato plant seed, and you still get the regular free seed packet. I missed that window. I saw that email and I was like, that was 5 days too late. Oh my gosh. But those of you who did that order, you're so lucky to have gotten 2 free seed packets that week. I missed out. My bad. So let's go ahead and rip into these. I decided to organize these by date. So there were a few of these I ordered before I made the deal of not spending so much and trying to limit it to $20 a week. I bought these 2 back in November. So then I've got some here from January. So I've got 2 from November, 2 from January, and then this is something that came in January. Now, I don't think I ordered it in January because they were overwhelmed with seed orders, so they're a little bit behind. But we're not planting them anyway, so waiting for your seeds from a reputable company is not a big deal, especially when you're getting an excellent price and supporting a smaller business. So let's go ahead and do this in order from how I ordered them. And I like their packaging. I actually really think that's cute. That package is really cute. But let's open up this one first. Okay, so opening up this first package here. And one note here too is with all this bubble wrap, if you like seeds like I do, I like to save the bubble wrap sometimes, especially if it's got cute packaging. And I'll cut it into strips for when I send seed packages as gifts, or if I'm doing a seed exchange. I'm part of lots of seed exchange groups to protect the seeds that I mail to people. So this gets used again. I don't throw it in the trash can. I also am a science teacher, and we make science models out of trash, like not rotting trash, but like, reused stuff. So I will cut this into strips, and I'll use some of it for my seed exchanges and gifts. And then I also give some to my classroom. I've got like a miscellaneous box that kids can use to make their cell models and neuron models and atomic models. So they use all these kinds of things in class. So I don't throw that in the trash can, so it's not wasteful. Here I have some burdock. I'm going to try to say this, and you're going to probably, if you speak other languages, please don't be offended. But it says Takanagawa. It's kind of pretty. Takanagawa. almost sounds like taking water. Takanagawa. Anyway, so this is burdock. And there are weedy varieties of burdock, which I don't know too much about, but I've heard about people using them in some ways. So do your research. Takanagawa burdock. This popular burdock variety has an average root length of 3 to 4 feet. Holy cannoli. It's earthy flavored, late maturing variety and is a top choice in Japan. Gobo, burdock root, is or has recently become, Okay, you know what? I'm a science teacher, but I also have an English degree. Is not proper English. Baker Creek, hire me. Hire me now. Take me away. I will help you edit your seed packages. Burdock root has recently become a favorite ingredient of adventurous American chefs for its versatility and exotic flavor. So that's interesting. And you're going to sow it in early spring or late fall. So I think we're supposed to have, according to the groundhog, we're supposed to have an early spring this year, 2024. So let's see. So sow in early spring or late fall. Soak seeds before sowing. By the way, that's a great farmer trick. I don't soak all of my seeds, but any seed that's big enough for me to pick up like this, I can sometimes soak them ahead of time. If they're super tiny, I don't do that. They're just hard. It's just hard to like try to get them out of the water and then plant them where you want to. But like corn seeds, I will soak for, and I don't even soak everything for overnight. Some things I just soak for an hour, and I find that it really helps. So some seeds like to really be soaked first. So a lot of seeds actually need to be treated in some way before they will sprout, or some just will grow faster to kind of weaken the seed coat. So soaking your seed weakens the seed coat and allows the embryo to emerge more quickly. I don't do that with tiny little seeds, but this seed, I can feel they're I'm not sure how big they are. I haven't seen burdock seeds before, but I can feel them. So they're not super tiny. So it says to go ahead and soak them first. It doesn't say how long. You can soak seeds overnight. I don't usually soak them longer than that. I did forget some oak tree seeds in water for a while, and I've actually done that with moringa too. Forgot them, and I soaked them till they sprouted, and then they were fine. So it just depends on the type of seed, but I'm going to go ahead and I will follow the instructions to soak them first. And I don't want to grow a lot of them this year, but I'm going to grow a handful of these because I'm not sure how I like them. But I do want to have a huge variety. One of my videos was called Noah's Ark because in many ways when I'm saving seeds, I kind of feel like it's Noah's Ark. We might be heading into some food insecurity, and having a variety of different plants is going to be very helpful. Also, having some gray man crops is not a bad idea. If someone sees your garden, they see that's food. But if you are growing some things that look like weeds, and you're growing some things that look like just pretty flowers, and you have some things that are not so edible, then it's kind of confusing and people aren't sure what they're looking at. So, like give you an example. I have some fruit trees growing by the edge of my property, and people keep I don't want to say stealing, gleaning. Okay, they're gleaning. Some people are gleaning fruit off of my fruit trees, which is very sad because some of my fruit trees are really young and they only have a few fruits. So that means that because they're gleaning those fruits, I never even got to try them. I spent the time digging the hole, bought the plant, put in the fertilizer, and took good care of them, planted them in, watered them, did all of this maintenance, pruned them, did all this stuff, and then I never got to eat it. So that's kind of frustrating. It's I think that if you're on someone's property, you need to ask the homeowner if it's okay. But eventually when I have so much fruit I can't know what to do with, I'm going to be okay with it. But if we go into food hardship, then people might start gleaning from your garden. I've actually found somebody before, pretty sure they went to my backyard and they were stealing eggs out of the chicken coop. So, it's weird. It's getting weird, people. Like, some people are like desperate. If someone asked me for food, I would give them food. It just bugs me if someone takes it without asking. So, growing some things that people don't know is food is not a bad idea. And by planting things that doesn't look like a carrot, I'm not sure that most people would even know what a potato plant looks like. They're definitely not, unless they're Japanese, they're probably not going to know what this burdock root looks like. And they're not going to know that it's food. They're going to think it's a weed. They might even be afraid that you sprayed it with something. So don't spray your yard, by the way. So, yeah, let's grow some burdock and try it out. I'm going to have to look up recipe because I have no idea how to use them. Oh, this is hilarious. So I'm crazy. Why did I buy this? I got these for free. I'm pretty sure they gave this to me as free seeds one time. Okay, I was tired when I was shopping this time. Okay. Okay. Yes, you know what, people? We need to have a seed inventory so that we don't rebuy everything. But you know what? 2x2. So these are just extras. So this is a Kamatsuna from Tokyo, Japan. It's dense in nutrition and so refined in flavor. Kamatsuna is known as spinach mustard. It can be used cooked or raw. I love that. So I like things that are versatile, that you can have raw or cooked. I'm going to need to get recipes for Kamatsuna because I don't know how to prepare it. But it looks to me like, how maybe I could use it as a cabbage substitute. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it really bitter? I don't know. I'll let you know when I harvest, but I'm going to go ahead and grow some. I think we should grow things from lots of different cultures, especially cultures we know to have really long longevity of life and to learn from other places around the world. So I'm going to grow some edible greens from Asian countries for that reason. I can't buy enough New Zealand spinach. These plants are so delicious. They have giant, crazy looking seeds. I'll show them to you in another video, but they're beautiful. And the plants, they're so delicious. So New Zealand spinach is great. It is a perennial in warmer climates. So you could, I guess, dig it up or plant it in a pot and then bring the pot inside. But they are so worth it. These also like to be soaked 24 hours before you sow. And direct seed. So yeah, there's no reason to have to pre-start them inside because they grow so perfectly directly sown into the seed. And it says at about the time of the last spring frost. So you don't need to transplant if you don't want to. Direct seed and save yourself some time and space. So these are awesome. I would buy 100 packets of these and grow a New Zealand spinach farm. It's yum, 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 yum. If you don't have New Zealand spinach, you need to buy this. This is delicious. So, so good. It's it's better than lettuce. And it's not bitter at all. It tastes delicious. Even in the hot sun. That's what I really like about New Zealand. That's a great variety. And I have a lot of these. But I cannot get enough. So every time I see them, I always buy more. They're so good. Eat your greens. So we've got some free seeds here. Yay! And this is the kind that I don't think I've gotten as free before. Yet a cool lettuce. Not sure how to say that. Lettuce. But it's a variety I might not have. So it says it's an ancient variety that has been grown by urban farmers near modern-day Istanbul. Cool. Turkey since Byzantine times. This variety has been recognized by the Ark of Taste as a beloved culinary symbol of Istanbul's centuries-old urban gardens. A romaine type with long leaves, a crisp center, and white seeds. I love romaine lettuce. It's so good. So, and all those leafy greens are getting so expensive. Grow your own. Lettuce, though, I do like to grow in early spring and late summer, growing into the cooling times because they're not cold hardy. Lettuce is not cold hardy. It's not a brassica. So I like to grow it when it's a little bit colder, because not cold, but cool. Because in the summer sun, it does get bitter tasting. And so at that time, I start to eat like the New Zealand spinach and other things like that. So, or Malabar spinach. But this lettuce is I'm excited to get this type. Did you get this one yet? Okay, Sugar Rush Peach. I'm going to give you another try. I failed last year. It is all my fault. It is truly my fault. I planted Sugar Rush Peach seeds and the red variety. Is it Red Rush Peach? Yeah, something like that. So I planted 2 Rush Peach varieties, the Sugar Rush and the red type. They were growing absolutely great. And I just bit off more than I could chew. And I didn't get them transplanted fast enough. So they did not do well. And we had some really hot weather, and I had them kind of in small containers. Excuse me. And it was super hot, and they dried out and died. And I'm going to tell you, I feel really guilty. So rest in peach, Sugar Rush Peach. Rest in peach. Rest in peace. Peace. Can't speak. Rest in peace, Sugar Rush Peach. Can you say it fast? Rest in peace, Sugar Rush Peach. I failed you last year. This year, I promise to do better. I've been so inspired by some people showing their videos of their very prolific harvests from this variety. So, whenever I've grown peppers, they've been very small harvests. So I'm really excited to try the Sugar Rush, because the videos I've seen, they really were just getting loads and loads of the peppers. So it says it's an exciting new heirloom bred by hot pepper prodigy Chris Fowler of Wales. Long peach-colored fruits are packed with loads of super sweet, tropical flavor, and the seeds bring a smoky, complex heat. By the way, I cannot eat the seeds of peppers or almost any fruit. I have a hard time because I think I'm murdering plants. Do you ever feel like when you eat seeds, you're murdering plants? I love to eat sunflower seeds, but when I buy them, they're already cooked and salted. Actually killing the seed and salting them myself, I just can't do it. Like, I can't murder the seeds. Like, I'm like, instead of having a handful of a snack, I could have like a whole farm of sunflowers. Like, how do you eat the seeds? And also, a lot of pepper seeds are super hot. So, I like to save the seeds instead. And they're super easy to save. These need to be started early. So, within a week or 2, I'm going to be starting some Sugar Rush Peach seeds indoors. And this time, I will not forget about them. I will plant them outside. Okay, my fingers are not crossed. Gonna plant them. I will not fail them again. I will not fail you again, Sugar Rush Peach. No more rest in peace. You're gonna live. Longevity. Longevity of life for the peach seeds. By the way, I'm gonna plant them in containers so that I can keep them alive year to year to year. Because peppers are perennials. So peppers are perennials, and if you are able to keep them warm enough during the wintertime, they can survive for several years. Tomatoes are too, but they tend to get like diseases. So instead of taking the whole plant, I'll just take cuttings. Like when they grow a sucker, when tomatoes grow a sucker, I'll take the cuttings and I'll grow those. And then indoors, those suckers will grow suckers. And you end up with these crazy massive plants. But I'll take the suckers of the suckers and then plant those, and that works to keep them going. Because they get so diseased, tomatoes, growing the same plant for years to years, it just doesn't make sense. But taking the clones actually does. For these, though, I'm going to really try hard to keep the plants I grow from seed alive for many years. So I got some giant noble spinach here, and my daughter really loves the regular spinach. So I thought I'm going to get some regular spinach, not just plants that have the name spinach in the name. So like Malabar spinach, New Zealand spinach, longevity spinach. They're not actually spinach. They're spinach substitutes. But Giant Noble is a true spinach. And as you can see in the name, introduced in 1926, giant of the spinach clan, plant spread to 25 inches. Okay, I had to think for a second. The exclamation point threw me off. So that's 2 feet. Tender leaves, great for canning, steaming, and salads. So that's good to know, like, that they get that big, 2 feet in spread. Wow. So if you're square foot gardening, you need to know that they take up that much space. That's wonderful, though, because you know how much a bag of spinach costs? So one seed would be like a bag of spinach. That's incredible. Seriously. If you think how much you'll get to harvest. You're going to sow in early spring. Heat will eventually cause spinach to bolt. That's why I'm also growing New Zealand spinach and Malabar spinach and all those other things, because they don't bolt in the hot sunshine, but the regular spinach does. But if you're getting a 25-inch harvest, that's like a whole big bag of spinach per plant. So it's worth growing. And, you know, a lot of recipes call for spinach that you could probably just freeze it and save it. So late summer for fall harvest. So you can have 2 harvests basically. Sow it twice. I'm definitely going to be growing spinach early and late. So just remember, don't plant it for summertime. Plant it for spring and fall. Yeah, so when you're planting it in the summertime, that's at the very end, late summer, so that you get the harvest before it's basically going to be maturing into the cold, which means it will grow slower, but it's going to be really good, especially when it gets a little bit colder. It tastes much sweeter. So we got the Giant Noble spinach. Pink Beauty is no misnomer. It is true to its name. Look how beautiful that is. Pink Beauty. Wow, it's gorgeous. Now, be careful if you're a brand new gardener and you're growing things like Swiss chard, amaranth, and rhubarb. Because if you're brand new and you see bright stems, you might get them mixed up. Once you've been gardening a while and you know your plants, you're going to recognize how different rhubarb leaves look, because rhubarb leaves are toxic. Amaranth leaves are edible, right? And Swiss chard leaves obviously are edible. Swiss chard are actually basically the beets that are grown for leaves, and you can eat their stems and the leaves. But rhubarb is only grown for the stems, and that bright color might confuse you. So this is pink. Some varieties of rhubarb look kind of pink and not red. Red is a giveaway, but Swiss chard can come in multiple colors. There's yellow, orange, white, and red. And so be careful if you are a brand new gardener with your plant identification. Amaranth is grown for its greens and flowers. There's many different varieties, and this one is grown for, obviously, for its beauty, but also as a vegetable. So you're eating it as a veg. It says heat tolerant and tender green. So this is another one that kind of can replace things that bolt, like spinach and lettuce that's not good in the hot sun. So the greens are endlessly versatile, a powerhouse of nutrition and very heat tolerant for summertime. A gorgeous addition to the garden, an edible ornamental indeed. So if you're growing this along with flowers, people will likely not know that it's food. They will be reluctant enough to not pick it and eat it. So they might pick it to try to have it as a flower arrangement. But this is beautiful, and I think having some beauty in your garden makes it worth growing. So there's so many days when you don't have a harvest, but your eyes have a harvest. Your eyes are feasting on the beauty that's in your garden. So while you wait for your harvest, for your belly and your tummy, you are actually enjoying how beautiful your edible ornamentals are. So I've got some greens here, some Asian greens, and I'm going to butcher the name. Chiji Masai. Is that right? Chiji Masai? I think. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a brassica. A phenomenally tasty one, apparently. Stunning new superfood with, oh, superfood. I like that word, right? That's ching, 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 ching. That's lots of money. Money, 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 money. You use the word superfood, and that's the sound of the money going into the machine, right? So with 4 times of as much vitamin A as carrots. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of vitamin A. Now carrots are known for vitamin C and for a lot of other things. Um, a cross between tatsoi and what is it? Sorry, I lost my concentration. Someone was calling me. Kamatsuna. Lightly savoyed leaves have a velvety mouthfeel and lightly umami flavor. Yum. Heat and cold tolerance, suitable to grow year round in most growing zones. Wow. Okay. That is cool. So I'm hoping that could be something for the Hungry Gap. So, in the United States, a lot of people probably don't know the terms Hungry Gap, but that term is from Great Britain or England. And the Hungry Gap is the time between the end of winter when you're running out of all your food stores and when the first spring harvest happens. That's called the Hungry Gap. And we probably don't know what that means because we've never been hungry. But we might be soon. So let's get some of these things that might be able to grow year round. And if it can't grow year round outside, maybe with a little bit of protection, like in a greenhouse, that or in a polytunnel or a cold frame, you can grow this Chijimasai. So I'm gonna infer that it does not mind being a little cool. I don't think I want it in my hot greenhouse in the summertime, but in the wintertime, it might be enough temperature difference to keep it a little bit warmer. So I'm going to try to grow this year round. That is super exciting. Nice. Chijimasai. And they use the word superfood, which means this is going to probably be off the shelf. If you want it, you better buy it fast. And this plant here, I haven't tasted it before, but it's so beautiful. Talk about edible ornamentals. That is gorgeous. It really has that deep red vein through it. So this is called Bloody Dock. Sounds like a bad word. It's perennial, which can also be grown as an annual. I'm pretty sure it would be a perennial here. Brilliant burgundy purple foliage, exquisitely veined, attractive ornamental, also yields tangy, tender greens each spring, and it's deer resistant. So, yes, I am going to plant these. Harvest tender leaves starting in early spring. And it will get bitter in the hot sun. Okay. I like unwanted volunteers. So, if it becomes a weed, I don't care. I love weeds that you can eat, right? That's what we should have, edible backyards. So Bloody Dog is definitely on my list. Is it on yours? I had to look up how to say this. Celosia. So quail grass. I had to look it up on another device. Lagos spinach. And it's apparently Lagos is the largest city in Nigeria. So that's interesting. Lots of plants called spinach. It's not spinach. It's calosia. Hold on. Calosia. And it's called Lagos spinach and quailgrass. So, we have here, it's 90 days to harvest, supremely heat tolerant, tasty and prolific. This amaranth relative. I thought the leaves looked like amaranth. Yeah. So amaranth relative is especially popular in many African countries, where the delicious, nutritious leaves are added to soups and stews. A great addition to the permaculture garden and superb leafy greens for summer. So it says start indoors. Or sow seeds in place after frost. That's also a great idea. So I'm going to be planting some of these. And I have a lot of different amaranth and amaranth relatives that I'll be growing in my garden this year. And they should be very yummy. You can also grow ornamental ones. and eat the leaves, but these are specifically bred for the flavor. So these are going to taste better. This first seed order that I just finished up with you guys had so many packets. I had peppers and greens and yeah, just delicious stuff. So and some root crops too with the burdock. I'm gonna put these into the little mesh baggie and show you my receipt. So this was a larger order. It was $38.36. I got 2 free seed packets, and I got the Amaranth Pink Beauty, New Zealand Spinach, Giant Noble Spinach, Sugar Rush Peach. I got 2 packages of that. Burdock, Colosia, Lego spinach. I got Kamasuna spinach, Bloody Duck sorrel, and Chichimisai. So lots of good greens, peppers, and I honestly, you could probably make a few recipes out of this seed haul alone. Let's go ahead and open up the second package. Okay, this is the third seed packet, and this is from Baker Creek. I love the packaging. This is so cute. It's like the structure is made out of the peppers. So artistic. I love it. And this little carrot over here is the one taking the picture. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, let's rip this open. Oh, this is how you're supposed to open the package. I've not been doing it right. So it actually says happy growing, and it's like all set up like this. I think I've been opening it sideways, and then everything falls out. So you can see really good what I have already. So I have this gigantic spinach, and I'm not going to say it. I got this same free seed packet as I did on the previous one, but that makes sense because I bought these both. I think it was both in November. So that would have been the variety they were giving out around that time period. So I'm going to grow some of them and save some for next year. And then this gigantic spinach is a flavorful heirloom variety from Italy. Translates to giant of winter. So that's easier for me to say. It's giant of winter. Produces large, broad, deep green leaves with well into fall and winter months. That's great that it's going to be more cold hardy. So you're going to sow in early spring, and it's going to bolt. And if it bolts, so I'm going to harvest as much as I can, not the whole thing, because I do want my plants to bolt. Bolting is not bad. It just makes it taste bad. But when it bolts, that means you're going to get seeds. And you can seed save and then not have to buy that variety again. So as long as you're growing just that one type, if I have this with a bunch of different types of varieties of spinach and they're all bolting at the same time, then the seeds are not going to be true. But you can stagger your plantings so that they are actually flowering at different times. And in that case, you can seed save. So that's my plan, is I'm going to be seed saving these spinach seeds when they actually do go to bolt. So I'm going to direct sow them and then seed save when they bolt. And then I'll plant them again. And then I also got the Bloomsdale spinach, which is the traditional type that most people are familiar with. So I won't read that one. Perpetual spinach is Swiss chard. So this is a specific kind of Swiss chard that's supposed to have a more abundant harvest. So it's truly a chard, but tastes more like spinach. So the flavor is a little bit different, but it is a Swiss chard. So if you grow this next to Swiss chard or beets, they're going to cross. So I'd plant them somewhere separate if you want to seed save. And yields from, unless you don't care, I mean, you don't have to. But you can't claim it's perpetual spinach if it crossed with some other type. So be careful if you're, sharing your seeds. Yields from late spring through autumn. And sowed in place, that makes sense. Early spring to midsummer into rich, moist soil, keep well watered. So, yeah. Side dress with compost. I like to side dress with compost anyway. That's a good practice to feed your plants in a way that's not so disturbing to them. So this is a great variety. I planted this last year, and then one of the dogs immediately went over to the raised bed and dug and flung all the seeds everywhere. So everything got mixed in together. And it was really difficult because I had lots of different plants and they were all labeled. And then they were not so much labeled. And so I couldn't tell what was what. But I'm going to try this again. And I'm excited about them having a good crop as well as the flavor profile. So Swiss chard perpetual spinach. And this seed variety is called Monstrous. And this is a true spinach. And it's a gourmet French heirloom. Big, smooth, deep green leaves. 10 inches long. That's crazy. Very fast growing plants. I love that. So in early spring. And like all the true spinaches, it's going to bolt in the heat. So I take those outer leaves. Lots of cut and come again kind of thing, The outer leaves. Keep going for the outer leaves. And then I let it bolt and then I save the seeds. So in late summer for fall harvest. So I'd say I'm going to try late August. I'm going to do the big early spring and then again in late August. So I've got the Monstrous de Varoflay spinach. Did a good job of getting a good seed order in here with all these greens. And there is a receipt. So you can see on the receipt, I did make it under $15. And I must have been starting to think about being more frugal. I did buy all of these seed packets for $3 each, except for the free seeds, which were $0. But I got the Swiss chard, perpetual spinach, Monstrous, the gigantic spinach, and the Bloomsdale. And that was all for $13.16, which there's going to be a lot of food coming from this. If you're buying these greens at a grocery store, this is going to be a savings. So a lot of things are not a savings, but these definitely are going to be because they are cut and come again. I don't take the whole plant. So I do think this was worth it. It was just over $13, and I got 2 true spinaches, the perpetual spinach, Swiss chard, and actually it's 3 true spinaches. So I got the Bloomsdale too. And then I also got lettuce for free. So I like that. And thank you to the seed team for putting my package together. And I finally figured out how to actually open this one. So it says happy growing on it. Cute. Seed pack from this order was the Merlot lettuce, which I have a million packets of, but I am not ungrateful. So this order was $14.25, which was within my budget. So it was a really good haul. I got the amaranth, I got the runner beans, and I've got the winged beans. So super excited about growing these, especially the winged beans. It's been a while since I tried them, and I really hope I have better luck this time. Opening up this next seed packet, and there is a flyer here about a seed expo in California, and that's exciting, but sadly it's the first or second week back after summer vacation, so I can't go. I'm so sad. But it's in California. There's going to be speakers, displays, vendors, seed swap, contests, entertainment. Man, I would love to go to that. This is very cool. So it's September 10th to 12th in Ventura, California. So I can't make it, but maybe you can. That sounds like an amazing experience. So if I lived in California, I would definitely be there. My first seed here is the Chinese multicolor spinach. So this is another amaranth variety that is eaten for the leaves. And as you know, amaranth is considered a ancient grain, even though the Aztecs grew it for the seeds. And it was illegal for centuries because of the practice of mixing the seeds with blood in a ritual. So the Spanish actually made it illegal for many, many generations. So now we are back in business. And there's no... Okay, guys. As beautiful and bloody as this looks, Do not mix it with human blood and do a sacrifice, okay? So just don't do that. Yeah, it's supposed to be for a green veg, heat and drought tolerant green, and spectacular splotches of color. Leaf amaranth is popular in Asia and is eaten raw, stir-fried or steamed. Succulent leaves make a perfect spinach substitute, ideal for midsummer when others have bolted. 30 to 40 days, that's awesome. That's almost as fast as growing little radishes. So, surface sow your seeds directly into the garden after danger of frost, barely covering it. Put it in full sun. It does tolerate heat and drought. Yum, yum. Let's grow us some amaranth leaves. I bought some more runner beans. These are Black Knight. Aren't they gorgeous? And it says they're 65 to 80 days, which is not bad for runner beans. It's an edible ornamental. Runner beans are beautiful. They have really pretty flowers. Scarlet red blooms that yield inky black beans. The young tender pods make superior snap beans. Can also allow the pods to swell as mature beans are a culinary delight. So I like the versatility that you can eat them. You can eat the pods as snap beans or eat the dried beans. And they're beautiful, beautiful beans. Storing them in a beautiful glass jar allows you to enjoy how beautifully ornamental the seeds themselves are. So they're going to be vigorous, long vines. You're going to need to support them, trellis them, or have something that they can grow up, like sunchokes. I like to plant these with sunchokes. Prefers mild temperatures. So early summer crop in hot areas. Get yourself some Black Knight runner beans. They're beautiful. Many, many years ago, I tried growing winged beans. I got some seeds from a seed swap. I only had a few, and I planted them in very, very poor soil. And so I didn't get a crop. They grew okay, the plant did, but it was kind of dwarfed. So this time I'm going to try do better. So it's an early prolific winged bean from Japan. It's a summer vegetable, very popular on the island of Okinawa. And you know, in Okinawa, that's a blue zone where there are more centurions or more people living to be over 100 years old than almost anywhere else on Earth. So whatever they eat may be part of that equation. So they're day-length neutral variety that will set pods as long as temperatures exceed 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Massive yield. So that was not my experience. So I'm hoping that I will, do a better job by them this time and have a really good harvest. And I even think the flowers there are beautiful. The seed pack from this order was the Merlot lettuce, which I have a million packets of, but I'm not ungrateful. So this order was $14.25, which was within my budget. So it was a really good haul. I got the amaranth, I got the runner beans, and I've got the winged beans. So super excited about growing these, especially the winged beans. It's been a while since I tried them, and I really hope I have better luck this time. I'm going to go ahead and open up my last Baker Creek package before I open up MiGardener. This is so cute. So my package was well packaged, came to me very nicely. And again, they are advertising the Seed Expo in September. These Coreopsis flowers are so beautiful. They're called Yellow Fully Double. Look how pretty those are. I'm excited. These are perennial in my zone 8. And they are early blooming. So I did buy these loofah gourds, and these seeds are actually for a culinary type of loofah. So this one's actually for soups and stews. It's not for making the sponges. So it might work out better for me than the sponges. I'm going to try to grow that variety as well. And I do think I have enough time. So I'm going to grow this as a veg. And this is a particular variety that is for that. So not sure how to say that. Crabonco loofah. And that's for soups and stews. Yum, yum. Let's try it out. This is a crazy giant radish, Sakurajima. And I'm going to grow this as well. And it's 90 days. Giant radish of Japan. 15 pounds. Yowzas. Okay, that's cool. And then the free seeds I got are the Japanese wasabi, which is not the true wasabi, but it's like it. So it tastes like it. So that's probably more sustainable way of getting that wasabi flavor is by growing the wasabi Japanese radish. Wasabi itself is a different plant and much harder to grow. So this, you probably, when you have wasabi in a restaurant, you're probably having horseradish or possibly the Japanese wasabi radish, not true wasabi. True wasabi is very, very expensive. This order was only $12.61. I think that was a steal. So I've been placing the seeds into this package I got from Burlington. And I did buy some things like this from Temu that are larger. And those fit a lot more seeds, like probably twice as much. But all those seeds I've shown you so far have fit into this container. And it can zip up and everything too. So I don't think I'm going to be able to fit all of this in here, but maybe. This package is from MiGardener. Let's rip into it. They included my packing slip that's got lots of stuff on it. And it's kind of satisfying to see how many seeds I have in here. Wow. Wowzers. Look at that. Wow, so many seeds. That's crazy. Why did I buy so many? What was I doing? Let's start off by looking at the tomato seeds I got from MiGardener. I got Black Krim, Black Seaman, Big Rainbow, Cherokee Purple, Geranium Kiss, more Geranium Kiss, and you can see the seed counts. For tomatoes, you're going to have a lot less seed count than with the greens, of course. Gobstopper, which is probably going to have big harvests. Mr. Stripey, Old German, Paul Robinson, Baby Romas, Striped Romas, Small Red Cherries, Sunray, Tommy Toe, Ukrainian Purple. These are actually ground cherries. I grow them all the time, but I overgave, so I did buy some more because I want to restock and make sure I have lots of ground cherries. They're the same variety. And mollies are a staple. They're low growing. They're much smaller than a tomato plant. And the plant drops these little husk-covered fruits that are really yellow. If they're green, don't eat them because they're toxic unless they're ripe. And you don't actually pick them off the plant. They fall down. And so when they fall down, pick up the ones that fall. And when you pop it open, if it's yellow, then it's a good fellow. And you can eat them. They're super sweet. I would not say make a pie out of them. I heard somebody did make a pie and they said it was disgusting. And I said, why? Why make a pie? No, they're good for fresh eating. You could also make like a salsa instead of using mangoes because I'm allergic. You can make a sweet salsa using the ground cherries, and that would be delicious. But yeah, you're not going to want to make a fruit salad out of these. They're not cherries, you guys. Tomatoes are a fruit, but they are not going to be, they're not going to have the right consistency and flavor profile to make like a cherry pie. Come on. But they're called ground cherries. They taste kind of like, I'd say a pineapple. I already ordered the Sugar Rush Peach. I showed you that from Baker Creek. So let's look what we got here from MiGardener. We've got the Anaheim chili peppers, giant Marconi peppers, purple beauty bells, red corno de toro, shishito. That sounds like a naughty word. Shishito. And yellow wonder bells. So are these of interest to you? Do you prefer sweet peppers or spicy peppers? Do any of these sound good? Do you like them? Do you grow them? What's your experience growing these peppers? Comment below. I don't have great luck with melons, so I only bought one. I got the banana melon, and I love garlic chives. Gotta get these. These are perennials. Yum, yum, yum. Very, very good. If you don't have garlic chives, grow them now. I got the Sunset Runner pole beans. Can't get enough of those. Spring bush peas and golden sweet peas. I got 3 packages of the sugar beets because I want to make my own sugar, and I'm collecting those seeds. Jicama seeds, Elisa Craig onions, and Walla Walla onions. I already have these varieties, but I'm stocking up. It is time to be prepared, you guys. If you're not preparing, you need to. This is for my seed stocking. For flowers or floral type things, I got this red spike amaranth, carnations, asters, Valkyrie mix, bells of Ireland, which people have told me they don't like to grow it, but I'm going to grow it for floral arrangements. And for my landscaping, some more carnations. These are Grenadine King of Blacks. I've got some giant McKenna mix columbine. Columbine are so precious. And so I got a couple of those. They're just so dainty and delicate looking. Snapdragons, which have edible uses. Do your own research. I have not eaten them before, but I've read that. So look it up. Got some different varieties. Got some envy zinnias because you need to have lots of different types. And I got a few of the Isabellina zinnias because we have family who have a similar name. So I like to plant things in honor of family. Of all these crazy, beautiful things, what is your favorite? Here are the greens I got from MiGardener. I've got some cabbage, collards, miner's lettuce. Don't get scurvy, y'all. Don't get scurvy. Got some lettuce, more red bell Malabar spinach. This is edible Shungiku chrysanthemum. It's also called, do they have that name on here? I think it's called chop suey. It doesn't say on this packet, but I think that's what I read. So that's going to be good, and it has pretty flowers. And Brussels sprouts. So I've got a good variety here of greens. I got more squash, which I already have, but I got a couple of the butternut. Got 2 of those. Delicata, the green scallop. I also got white scallop and yellow scallop. Then I got kabocha squash, North Georgia candy roasters, these Rouge, I'm just gonna call it Cinderella pumpkin, okay? It's a Cinderella pumpkin. Although you guys all want me to sound stupid reading that for you. It's called Cinderella. Sweet dumpling and round zucchini. And of course, I already talked about the scallop squash. Those are so fun. And if you have kids, they look like little, like flying saucers. So, like little UFOs. So, and also, one time I grew them really, really late, and I still got a crop. So they are very fast. I wonder if they tell you how fast, but they grow really fast. 50 days. So, like, I grew that at the end of the summer, and I still ended up getting some squash out of it. So, if you're running out of time, you're like, oh no, I can't think of anything to grow. Those grow really fast. And then these are a small round zucchini. So they also are going to grow really fast, 50 to 60 days to maturity. So they only need 2 months, and you've got some zucchinis. Now, if you have longer, you get more, right? So plant them sooner. But I've got all of those different squash here. I also did see that I had a couple more melons. I got the sweet Siberian melon and the Minnesota midget cantaloupe, as well as the other one I already mentioned. So what do you think of my seed haul? Like, I had 6 packages. I had 5 from Baker Creek, and I had 1 Giants order from MiGardener. I think I had some kind of code for getting a discount that day, so I went a little bit crazy because usually they're $2 a pack, and I don't remember what I got them for, but it was less than that, and I got a lot. Clearly, I am. If you're watching my seed videos, clearly you're seeing I have a lot more seeds than one person needs. I have a family of 5. And I don't just plant for myself. I plant and give plants away. Sometimes I sell a few plants. Sometimes I give away seed packets as gifts like with a birthday card or whatever. So I'm always doing that. And I'm also a prepper. So I don't have a lot of space for prepping. So, and I know a lot of people have that as an excuse. Even if you have an apartment, you have room for a couple, um, 5-gallon buckets of freeze dried something. I don't know. But you have room for some 20-pound, 50-pound bags of rice. You need to be prepping, and you never know what the future holds. It is genetically, instinctively part of what we are to be prepared. So we have learned over the last few generations to not think about the future, to only think about the here and now. And that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard of. We survived for millions of years. We have survived for millions of years, thousands if you want to say that, but we've survived for many, 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 many generations because we are instinctively preppers. We are instinctively gardeners. From the Garden of Eden, from the very beginning, we were supposed to be interacting with nature. We were supposed to be gardening and tending to plants and really being close to what we eat. That was a big mistake for our cultures all around the world. They did the same thing around the same time period, trying to invite people away from the farms into big cities, highly densely populated places, having us all become specific, jobs and so forth, which is not a bad thing. We've been able to live out our dreams, right? But in doing so, we've really lost our connection with the earth and with God and each other. That's kind of backwards, though, right? Push us all close together, and then we are individually separated from one another. Like we're like in these little compartments. When we used to live spread out, we were closer. Is that crazy? But when people used to live on farmlands that were acres apart from each other, um, people were still neighborly. We helped each other. We loved each other. Love thy neighbor. And we would band together and help each other if there was suffering or need. And nowadays there is still need, and there are lots of kindred spirits who help each other, um, but not the way it used to be. It used to be all of us. So hard times may be coming. And if you look at our government, if you look at how fractured society is around the whole planet, that's a scary thing. It is not isolated. It's happening everywhere. And it's bizarre. It seems coincidental, but could it be? Could it be a coincidence that there's fractured societies, fractured relationships, distrust in the government, distrust in fellow people around the entire world? I don't think it's a coincidence. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But if you are not gardening, then I don't want to be mean, but I'd say it would be a foolish thing to not garden. And some days seeds might not be available. And yes, someone might say to me, but why are you taking so many? Well, I'm not throwing them away. I'm growing them, and I'm giving them away before they die. I am making sure that these do not get wasted. Have you ever seen plants at a gardening store where they have piles and piles of plants that are going into dumpsters? Well, I don't think any of these seed companies right now are unhappy that I'm buying so many seeds. I think that means they're telling their people, grow more, grow more, grow more, buy more property, and plant more, plant more, plant more. So I want that to be the case. And when seeds are in short supply, I will not need to buy seeds. When seed packets are $5, $10 a packet for 10 seeds, I will not be buying any more seeds. I will never need to buy seeds again for the rest of my life because I know how to seed save, and I'm a generous person. I'm not going to watch my neighbors starve. I'm going to teach them how to fish. I'm going to teach them how to plant things if there's a hard time. I'm not going to just give them what my children need out of their mouths, but I'm going to teach them, and I'll have enough to share. Do you have enough to share? Do you have enough? If you were to think of this way, if every seed you grew, nothing bad happened to it. It didn't get eaten by an insect. It didn't get root rot. It didn't get fungus gnats. It didn't get mealybug. squash vine borers. Everything was fine, and every single seed you grew to fruition, and every single plant grew the most abundant crop it could possibly grow in the most ideal circumstance. Think of the calories in those plants. Do you have enough seeds if everything was perfect to feed your family for a year? And if the answer is no, you don't have enough. And if the answer is yes, you still don't have enough. So you need to have rice and beans. You need to have canned food, water stocked up, and you need to have more seeds. Preferably some heirlooms, because hybrids are going to get you a year. Heirlooms are going to get you a lifetime. Okay? Hybrids will get you a year. Heirlooms will get you a lifetime. God bless you all, and I hope you watched to the end. If you did, you got to hear my little moral code here. We are going to be better neighbors. We are going to be better people. We are going to listen to our Lord and Savior and God. We're going to pray. We're going to live for today, but plan as if whatever we expect for tomorrow is not coming, and that we need to have ample preps in place. Even if you have a small space, seeds are tiny. Look at this container here. I have in here all kinds of seeds. There is a lot of food in this. It's not enough, but there's a lot of food in this. All of this together, this is not enough, but it's a good start. So if you haven't started gardening, if you haven't started seed saving and stocking up on seeds, you also need to learn how to save your seeds at the end of a season. And I will be very, very happy to share that with you. So don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and all that jazz. God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully by then, I won't have a cold, and then I will have a clear voice. God bless you all. Hit like and subscribe, comment, all that goodness, and be ready. Make sure you have your seeds.